Hello everyone, I'm looking at isomorphic strings. It's morphin time. Let's go. First, what are we doing? We're trying to see if we have the same character mapping. Now what is the character mapping? For S, we see E, that's 0, and then two G's, 1 and 1. And for T, we have an A, 0, 1 and 1. So the mapping is the same, 0, 1, 1 and 0, 1, 1. So if we changed all the E's to A's and all the G's to D's, they'd be equal. And so how do we tell if they're isomorphic? Well, we just count the occurrences or count the first occurrence. So we just give it a number. And if we've seen it before, we give it the same number, right? So let's do this with objects. So let's see. Let S object, S obj, and T obj. And we just need a simple iteration over all the letters. So let's use a traditional for loop. I want access to the indices, so I'm not going to use a for of loop. And now we want to add them if we've never seen them. And we'll give them a number. So if, and then we're going to see if the individual letter from the given string, and it's an iterable object, right? So this is an iterable object, so we can put square brackets next to the name of the iterable object and place an index, and it will return a character. And then we can check if that character is in the object. But to do that, that's a complex operation, and we're going to put it in nested parentheses because we're going to put exclamation mark to mean not, and we want simply the value that's returned from checking whether we have it. So S of I is S of I in S obj. So what do we have here? We're seeing if this individual letter, E, the individual letter, E, is inside our object. And if it's not, then SOBJ, open square brackets, string, which is an iterable object with the square brackets, we have a index. So we're going to pass in a key and tell it that the value is going to be 0. So now we have the object, which is empty. S of I is the string with the square brackets next to it, which makes it iterable. Well, it is iterable. And then you put the square brackets and the index, and that returns the letter. And so for just that single letter, we write down inside our object 0. And we're going to do the same for the other one. So t of I in t obj if t of I in t obj. Now, basically, we're going to add them and add them. And in this case, we have egg and add. But what if we had foo and bar? Well, we would have 0, 1, 0, 1. But then we'd have 1 and we'd have 2 because this is a new, never before seen letter that's just been released. And so that's 2. 2 does not equal 1. So if SOBJ, S of I, pass in the key to get the value, pass in the key to return the value, if it is not equal to TOBJ, T, I. At that point, you can return false if that ever happens to you. And if we have not returned false, we can return true.